As we continue our Good Life series, as we're looking for the meaning of life, as we search out to what makes a life good, we're going to turn to Ecclesiastes 7, 8, and 9. And it's really about wisdom versus folly. And a lot of us, we understand life isn't fair. We understand that life doesn't go all as we want it to go. But the problem is, as humans, we want to understand everything. We want to be able to explain everything. We're products of the Enlightenment period, where we can explain everything away scientifically, the scientific methods. Everything has to be able to be explained for it to make sense. And the problem is, life doesn't make any sense. Things happen to us that are out of our control. I'm here at the Fort Worth Water Gardens, one of the most beautiful places in downtown Fort Worth, and the water is flowing. And as we know, you can't control water. It's flowing freely in nature. Here, we've kind of gotten the energy and controlled it and made a fountain out of it. And it looks beautiful and it's nice and it's setting and it's proper. But if you go to Colorado in the mountains and you go to where the Grand Canyon was formed and the river is flowing, the water is uncontrollable. It goes where it wants to go. It makes movement and marks where it wants to move and where it wants to mark. And so water has that power, and it reminds us of nature and the seasons of life. It reminds us that we cannot control what God has created. And in Ecclesiastes chapter 7, it tells us that. It says, in my vein, in verse 15 of chapter 7, life I have seen everything. There is a righteous man who perishes in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man who prolongs his life in his evil doing. And what he's saying is it doesn't make any sense. It's just not fair. Why does a righteous man die early and an evil man live a long life? That seems to us unfair. It seems one of these things that we cannot explain. And then we go to chapter 8, and he notices this. He says, when I applied my heart to know wisdom and to see the busyness that is done on earth, how neither day nor night do one's eyes see sleep, then I saw all the work of God, that man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun. How much man may toil in seeking, he will not find it out. Even though a wise man claims to know it, he cannot find it out. We're so busy. We work so hard. We work so hard and seek wisdom and understanding and get money and wealth and all these things. And he says we can toil all we want under the sun. We can seek all we want under the sun, but we will not find it out. Even though we have wise ones who have claimed to find out the meaning of life, who claim to promise you the good life, who claim to promise you that if you seek out these 3 things, then your life will be fulfilled and happy. He's telling us you cannot find it out. Life at some point in time is unfair, it's unexplainable, and things happen that we cannot figure out. Yet we cannot explain why we lose a job, why we get cancer, why some people get diseases, why some people suffer. Can't explain why it rains on the righteous and it rains on the unrighteous. When we go to chapter 9 of Ecclesiastes, down in verse 11, again I saw that under the sun the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to the intelligent, nor favor to those with knowledge, but time and chance happen to them all. Things happen in life, but it's not a race for the swift. It's a long haul on this earth under the sun. However long Jesus leaves us here under the sun, we have to live for things over the sun. We have to seek wisdom beyond the understanding of things happening in this earth, because things will happen to us who have knowledge, and time and chance happen to all of us, whether we have bread, or whether we have riches, or whether we don't. It's not because we're smart enough, good enough. It's not because we learn enough or have knowledge. We are to seek knowledge and understand them. And we're not to be unintelligent, but we're not to place our value or life being good to us and the good life based off of that intelligence. It's based off us having the wisdom of the Father, based off being with Him, being in His presence, and being understanding that the good life is found not in controlling the power of the water, but being with the power of the water. I'm surrounded by this beauty. You can hear the rushing water behind me, and it's all flowing in its proper place. The power is harnessed, and for God, He wants to dwell in us, and we want to harness the power of God. And when we harness the power of God that's inside of us, we can't control this life, but instead we let His power control us, and that's where we find the good life.